Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thanks to Skylar Cole for that stirring rendition of our national anthem. And we'll be right back.
What you know about rolling?
A good Friday night to you sports fans. You've come to the right place. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. And tonight we've got the Memphis Grizzlies playing against the Houston Rockets here in Toyota Center. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and we'll have David Aldridge filling us in from the sideline. Hey, Dave.
Well, thanks very much, guys. Of course, the NBA has had some legendary trash talkers. But Damian Lillard says it's not really a verbal assault like it used to be. In this era, it's more gestures. From the watch your head to the too small or rock the baby to Trae Young's theatrical bows, players have their ways of sending a message. Kevin?
And the message usually received, DA. Thank you. Now we'll look at Memphis's starting group. At the forward spots, it's Brooks and Jackson Jr. Ja Morant, he's out there with Rain Man, and it's Houdini at the center, locking down the middle. And for the Rockets, Porter Jr. is the point with Green on the wing. Gordon out there with Smith, and it's Chris in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Boy, this hurts to have to bring up, but I was there for the Rockets' title-winning days back in '94 when I was with the Knicks. I saw Houston in the finals firsthand.
Here we go. So Memphis will get the first possession. Pass to Houdini. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play. Back-to-back titles for the Rockets in the mid-'90s. You were just talking about that. Greg, what sticks out to you about those teams?
First and foremost, the dream. Hakeem Olajuwon, he doesn't get his due at times, but the dream is one of the all-time greats. Olajuwon's defense really changed games.
The regular season just getting started. What's it like for rookies, Greg, who are beginning these new pro careers?
Let me tell you, Kevin, the speed of the pro game is startling. Things are happening so fast, it can take years for the game to slow down.
Porter against Morant. Poke loose, and a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here.
Jump ball called.
And it's the Rockets with the ball. Just 5 to shoot. Smith with a screen on Brooks. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over.
Memphis ball.
Well, it was the Memphis Grizzlies winning their last game against the Knicks. Here's Houdini. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Brooks.
Remains Houston ball.
And here are the Rockets now. It's a 5-point game. At the elbow, Smith. The Grizzlies pull it in. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And that one was all about offensive execution, running your plays, picking your spots.
Yeah, you know, not deviating from the game plan is critical. You got to trust in the system.
And here's Gordon following Ja Morant's three. Oh!
Oh, man!
And he jams it with authority.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
And, you know, establishing that physical dominance early gives you a big mental edge, too. Don't discount that.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, their defense was just overrun. Couldn't match the intensity of the opponent, and it cost them.
And you know what, guys? It just seemed like they never really had the kind of energy necessary. They just weren't comfortable on the defensive end.
All right, let's give a big hand for our Quad City Dancers.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. The drive by Green. It's good.
One of Green's primary attributes, speed. And when he combines that speed with staying under control, that's a problem.
Terrell. And again, it's Memphis with the three.
5 buckets without a miss. That's a fantastic start.
For Houston, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far.
In terms of entertainment factor, can any current player top Ja Morant? I mean, we've seen Ja with some vicious in-game throwdown.
Here's Terrell. Turned in an outstanding game against New York. And that one's good. Houdini.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
And, you know, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that if you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
Will it go? And then Smith with the dunk.
And how about the force on that finish by Smith?
Memphis leading by 13. Hey, Greg, talking about the great Ja Morant, this guy is just flat out fun to watch.
Well, Ja's been known to go off for 50 on any given night, but he also looks for others, dropping some nasty dimes. Morant has an insane combination of athleticism and skill. This guy can do anything.
And the Grizzlies with possession here. The Rockets making the shot. And Porter comes to help. Well, Greg, analysts evaluate player performances on the floor, and sometimes we've seen the players fire back. They're not happy with the criticism.
You know, it's a risk you take, but if you treat everyone with kid gloves, you're really not doing your job. The audience expects a level of honesty, and quite frankly, players don't mind you criticizing their game. It's when those critiques become personal.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Şengün's checked in for Marquise Chris. Kenyon Martin Jr. comes in for Smith. Tate, he's checked in for Gordon. And it's Josh Christopher in for Green. And he nails the third.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Here's Terrell driving inside.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game.
Well, when you know it, you got to show it.
Here's Christopher, and so Houston again turning it over.
Memphis ball.
Right now, let's bring up the 2K leaderboard and see the teams that really knew how to clog the passing lanes last season. Number 1, the Grizzlies.
You know, I don't know if the numbers even told the story. I mean, their defense was as good as it gets, often just leaving their opponents completely demoralized.
David Nwabans checked in for the Rockets. Konchar's checked in for Memphis.
And their offense already in a flow, some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Payne for three. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Memphis.
I mean, they've come out aggressive defensively, getting into them and coming up with some cookies along the way.
Another big component of their game early on has been their execution on the fast break. They're getting a bunch of easy baskets, pushing it in transition.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Desmond Bain.
Good season for him last year, and he was top 10 in free throw percentage. Did not waste opportunities to convert at the line.
And back to what you said, he was runner-up in the three-point accuracy category last season because no one could get him out of his rhythm. He was just unstoppable. "56 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Christopher. Back to Martin. Pass to Tate. Martin against Anthony. It's deflected. Martin kicks to Tate. They can't stop the run with that one. And the Grizzlies leading by 23. Howard in the post, working on Martin. Howard, good.
And you know what? There's no question about it. Dwight Howard still has it going on inside.
Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Jones. Howard with it. A 14-point game for him in the win against New York. Good work there as it goes.
Defense leading to offense. Another turnover and another basket.
And we all know miscues can really be game-changing. Pretty much the most damaging play you can make is giving the ball to the other team without your defense being set.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
Good on the triple.
Yeah, they built up this lead 3 points at a time.
And I like the strategy. It's a great strategy. Bury those threes early, and it'll open up the inside for them later on.
And the buzzer sounds to end the first, and we've got a blowout underway here. It's the Grizzlies delivering the blowout. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Toyota Center. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And the Grizzlies have been rolling right along, haven't they?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
Yeah, you know what? Makes it really easy for the coaching staff in that case. No adjustments needed. Just keep on keeping on.
Well, Greg, with this Memphis Grizzlies team, you like how young and how hungry they are. It's very appealing.
And these players have bought into the system. This is a selfless group that knows each other's strengths, and it's why they've seen so much success here of late.
Taking a look at the Grizzlies. At the forward spots, it's Brooks and Jackson Jr. Rain Man is out there with John Morant, and it's Houdini at the 5 spot.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Green. Teams nowadays tracking deflections in addition to steals. Were they something you were aware of when you played defense, Greg?
Yeah, even if they weren't tracked, they were valued. And I remember early in my career, that was something with the Knicks that would always emphasize, because deflections were a true indicator of activity, especially defensively.
And both free throws good for Green.
During the last decade, the 2010s, Houston had loads of success the fourth most wins in the league during that time. Unfortunately, they never got to the final.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question.
And he should be. I mean, remove all doubt. Get it down, hard, and simple.
And finished off by Porter.
With his vert, Porter Jr. has no issues getting to the rim.
Memphis has gotten off 4 shots from three-point range tonight and buried every one of them. For the Rockets during the 2010s, Clark, all winning seasons.
Yeah, and you know, the biggest reason that Houston didn't reach the finals in my mind was the West was loaded. The Spurs were always a contender. OKC had a nice run. And of course, during that time, the Warriors became dynastic.
Outside, Green. Tipped away. Here's Houdini, guarded by Green. And that one's good. Houdini.
Just make sure you keep getting him touches. I mean, you love what he's doing at the offensive end. Don't go away from it.
It's blocked.
Rejected by Brooks. Part of why he's stuck as a second rounder. Dillon gives great effort on defense.
And that rejection had some mustard on it. Huge, huge play.
And guys, they'll think twice about attempting that shot again. That was a big-time rejection.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time. Now that we have a chance, let's go to the 2K leaderboard and reveal last season's top shot blockers. Jaren Jackson, #1.
It happened so often. I'd say to myself, there's no way he can get to that shot, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and it go down as another block.
Houdini passes to Morant. A three-pointer, no good. And so Green will bring it up for the Houston Rockets. Knocked loose and out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
And they were #1 in blocks. Can't say enough about how well they protected the rim. They just owned the paint.
And the rebounding you just talked about, I did a night out. They controlled the boards. Nobody could match their energy in that department. Now a timeout called by Houston.
I think it's time for some free t-shirts. Who wants one? Make some noise.
Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Marquise Chris.
Eric Gordon.
Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, focus, focus, focus. Just make the simple play.
Jackson has the open look. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper. Jackson's got his first points of the game.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on him.
Here's Tate. Gets that one to fall after missing his first two. 1 for 3 from the field.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thanks, guys. Now, Jalen Green is on a mission. He says, every time I step on the floor, I always have something to prove to who's ever in those stands. A lot of people will hate on me or have their opinions. I'm just going to think about that when I step on the floor. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. Kevin?
That's a great chip to keep on his shoulder. David, thanks. Rockets have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Poked away. And here we go. The Grizzlies on a fast break. Now here's Gordon. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Porter finds Green. Back to Porter. Houston moving it around. Outside Jackson. Pass to Terrell. From deep.
2 minutes remaining.
No good there. And the Rockets take it the other way.
Boy, you love to see the aggressiveness, using the height advantage to hammer it home.
A minute 50 left in the second quarter. Now Porter. 11 points for him in that last game against the Hawks in Atlanta. Gordon for 3. The Rockets with another miss. Memphis with the ball. They're on a 14-4 run right now. Durant. Oh!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My goodness.
Yeah, that's fire right there. Morant practicing for the dunk contest. I see you, young fella.
Porter dishes to Smith. And Smith with the stuff.
Whoa, that'll wake you up.
He is such a great athlete.
No question about it. He's very comfortable in the air. Dunks like that, no problem for him.
And a quick look at how the Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Saturday, they continue the road trip heading out to Dallas to take on the Mavericks. Then on Monday, they'll be matching up against Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. Rockets have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. And with Kevin Porter Jr. and Michael Porter Jr. and Otto Porter Jr. Guys, I'm sensing a pattern here.
It can even get a little confusing at times, but no relation that I'm aware of. They're just Porters, Juniors, and quality NBA players.
There's the pass to Tate, outside Gordon. That's a 2 from Smith. Terrell pulls it in. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second.
Oh, that was worth the price of admission. That is not possible. What we just, is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said.
He's one of the few players in the NBA who can pull something like that off.
And here's Porter. 24 seconds left in the first half of the game. Oh, and there's the alley-oop.
A solid distributor. I think Jackson is gifted at reading defenses and then being able to spot the open teammate.
Here's Tate. Pass to Porter. From deep three-point range. And so it's Memphis, holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Back to the action in just a minute.
59. Hey, get your hands together and get foul for the Milwaukee.
Welcome. First up, let's look at the two guys who are each leading their respective teams through the first half. This has been a fantastic matchup tonight.
Oh, yes. Nothing like the matchup I saw here during the first half. That was a blowout.
And what was that?
Shaq versus the Buffet.
Oh, that's one-sided. And keeping things moving, what a tremendous first half performance for the Grizzlies. Thanks for joining us. Now let's toss it to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. It's been a clinic out there by Houdini.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
And you know what? It helped that they had a few guys with very hot hands on the perimeter, too.
Porter Jr. is the point with Green on the wing. Smith is out there with Gordon. And it's Chris in at the 5. Rome in the paint. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. And they're bringing you up close and personal on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Jackson against Smith. A second chance effort. He lays it in. Smith's got 8.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Here's Terrell. And again, it's Memphis with the 3.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take him.
Smith the pass to Porter. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Porter's got his second bucket tonight.
Oh, how about the vision from Smith? You have to know not just where, but when to deliver the ball.
Into the left.
Yes, sir.
That was incredible.
Oh, man. Oh, I love watching him flush it home, showing how easily he can get off the ground and bang it.
Morant with the steal. And Morant throws it down.
You got to close off those avenues to Morant. Once he gets in one, he is focused on dropping the hammer.
Morant with the steal. And Morant throws it down.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
Really their own worst enemy right now with all these turnovers.
I tell you what, guys, this game would look a lot different, would have a different texture if they didn't give the ball away so much. I mean, that's really been the storyline so far.
And again, it's Memphis with the 3.
And they have come out of halftime in fuego.
And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for Houston. Stolen by Brooks. Inside. And the dunk by Jackson.
Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
You know, they came out of the locker room, revved up the gas pedal, and haven't slowed down yet.
Nabbing another steal. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end.
Jackson gets the bucket.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Deep 2 from Brooks. And he finished it off with a lay-in. Brooks has got 5.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
You know, it's okay to give up a few if you're getting them back on the other end, but that hasn't been the case here.
Pass to Smith. They need this one, and it's Smith finishing it off.
Fantastic job moving the ball there by Porter Jr., understanding exactly what was available when his teammates were open.
And Jabari Smith, of course, with deep family ties, Greg, to the NBA.
His dad being the OG Jabari. All these guys are in that 6'10", 6'11" range, so great bloodlines.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, thank you very much. The Rockets are in a full rebuild, and they have a young roster which is taking its lumps. But Coach Stephen Silas says, we very rarely give up. This team has a lot of fight, character, and grit, and we are learning. Kevin, it's a long process, but it's worth doing.
Yep, no shortcuts, David, but the journey is the reward. They're building from the ground up. It's fun to watch, and we thank you for that story. From 17 feet out, Smith missing again. Memphis has gotten all 4 of the three-point shots to go down since halftime. They're lighting it up here. Crane's the three-pointer. Houdini's got 26.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Chris gets the bucket.
And this is where Chris does a considerable amount of damage. Feels comfortable taking those interior shots.
Here's Houdini, covered by Chris, and wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball.
That's a jump ball.
Passes it to Houdini. Morant, that's for two. And it's Memphis with another.
Monster quarter for him. He's put the team on his back, trying to carry them to the W.
Smith up top. 10 points for him. Offline from the high post. Here's Morant. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks. Brooks has got his 4th assist in this one. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Memphis out in front, running away with this one. And we'll have the start of the 4th quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And with the 4th quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. On the court for Memphis to start the 4th, Steven Adams is out there with Howard. Then it's Anthony. Then it's Tyus Jones. And it's Morant in at the 2-guard spot.
You know, he's not a knockdown shooter from there, but when you're that uncovered, you almost are forced to take it.
Howard, the pass to Anthony. Adams trying to free himself up. And Anthony gets it to go on the assist by Howard.
3-pointers are killing them at this point, and they haven't been able to respond at the other end.
You know, the only way that's going to turn around defensively is by stopping the outside shot, not getting into a shootout. They're not going to out-shoot out this team.
Well, he wanted to return the favor there for that last 3, but it just wasn't in the cards. Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
Matthews scanning the floor. Garuba, the lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
And so it's Jones. He'll bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
For Memphis, they've gone a perfect 4 of 4 to start the final quarter. Can't ask for anything more than that. Took him no time at all on that one. Anthony's got a couple of 3-pointers now in the 4th for Memphis. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. They get a hand on it. Matthews against Jones. Now here's Matthews. Not a lot of room. It's rebounded by Memphis. Morant, right side. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
First personal foul.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm, and you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Boy, this is borderline ridiculous. I mean, every single attempt finding the bottom of the bucket.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Grizzlies.
The mid-range game has been there for them all game long, and that old-school approach still getting it done in this one.
And, you know, the more they've penetrated, the more they realized the defense wasn't able to stop them, so they just kept doing it.
And the Rockets making a change here. Şengün's checked in. That's good from Morant. Last season, of course, Marcus Smart won the Defensive Player of the Year. You know, Greg, it's rare to see a guard win it. Should perimeter players get more consideration from this point on?
It's tough, Kev. I do think they should. And I think the numbers, though, tend to favor the rim protectors, but it's only right to recognize great defense at every position, especially at an age of positionless basketball.
Christopher, the pass to Matthews. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
First personal foul.
Since going undrafted in 2019, Garrison Matthews has earned a role in the league as a sharpshooter.
Yeah, Kevin, he was on two-way contracts in his first couple of seasons, but proved to be a useful role player in that third season, which led to a guaranteed contract. Good for Garrison because he can flat out shoot it now, and he's found the niche.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Baines checked in. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Anthony on the wing takes the three, and that comes off the assist by Jones.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
Down low, here's Şengün. There's the killer two-handed slam.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, G8, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up.
Jones against Matthews, and Adams sends it back.
Adams puts every ounce of energy into his defense. He's not out there to contest shots. He's out there to reject them. And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Grizzlies.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And guys, when you're going head-to-head against someone 4 times over the course of a season, it's a great feeling to snatch that first one. Good in-game adjustments tonight against the Rockets.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Ja Morant.
An unbelievable scoring performance. He absolutely took over and never let up.
Jalen Green's checked in for Houston. Here's Houdini. Şengün.
Oh, yeah.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there. Go get it.
And that one's good. Houdini.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Boy, a fantastic performance. And I tell you something, I mean, you get roadkill, that's always a challenge in the NBA, no matter what. And they got it done.
And relentless in his attack, Morant is wearing down the defense, putting up some huge numbers here tonight.
Ball's knocked loose, and the call will go against Houdini. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
Here's Şengün. Shot to stop the run.
And a clever defender. I like seeing Brooks be that pest on this end and just disruptive.
Shot's good by Terrell.
So many of the plays they're running designed to create opportunities from deep.
Well, you know, that's exactly their plan here in the fourth. Work to find space behind the arc and then bury some threes.
So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now let's go over to David Aldridge from the sideline for an interview with our player of the game. Hey, David.
Thanks very much, Ja. A lot of swag on this team tonight. Who's responsible for that confidence?
I feel like we all talk to each other, even the coaching staff. Coach let us play with a lot of freedom. Everybody have the green light, so I mean, there's no reason to lack confidence when you have a coach who believes in you every step of the way and just let you go out there and play your game. So we always just preach, you know, keep shooting, make or miss, and we behind you. So
you all look like a confident bunch, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. As we present our New Balance Player of the Game, Ja Morant.